And I'm back. I'm back for part 2 of the reboot of It Takes a Village. And I hope you enjoyed the first part. I did everything I could to make sure I didn't go for too long. I want to make sure my segments are more bite-sized consumption-wise because you're a busy people and I can get busy, so I definitely understand if you can't, binge a whole entire 30, 40 minutes of, information. So, as we left off, I told you, I guess I just felt more endeavored to unleash the importance of making sure we come back to us as a people, and why that's the basis of the podcast segment, It Takes a Village. My family and I have been through so much in our life that I can't even explain to you or express to you in 40 minutes, just the concept of sticking together in the way that we've had to. So I will try. But we've been through a lot from an early age, and even before we were born, my people, my mom, my brother, my family, have had experiences that, we would have never, ever wanted to have to live through at times. And that's made us a bit stronger, but it's also made us a bit more vulnerable. And, there have been things that have been wounds, and those wounds need to heal. And it was on an individual basis. And eventually to become a more family or village or group effort to heal those wounds as well, we had to first look at ourselves and see what the problem was and where we were and what's going on. And not saying we figured it all out, but at the very least, I've been taking the necessary steps for myself, and hopefully they've been doing the same for them. And, our conversations reflect, those things. And, some of the times it's been, tumultuous, and other times it hasn't been. But knowing that we care enough to fix the things that have been going on from our childhood till now means that there's an importance of loving each other and caring for each other and, taking care of our family. And, we've had some of, I don't even want to go through all the stories, but, you can almost name scenarios and I could probably say that's something we've experienced, and no one should have to experience those things. But, life is how it has come to each individual person at times. And, going through what we've been going through and looking at things from a different perspective at times has been a great avenue and a great aid of releasing some of those emotions and things that we've gone through. And which is why I created Loving the Way You Are, but not in the essence of accepting those wounds as being, a part of you, because to me, wounds do heal, but, they've helped make you into the person you are. And so you can be able to be a better part of the village as a whole, or as a more whole person. I'm saying wholer, but as a more whole person who feels more complete or competent about who they are, what they're feeling and what they're doing and where they want to go with things, versus taking that wound and festering it to being the only thing your life is about, or, just festering those wounds. It's no point in festering those wounds if you want to live a long and healthy and happy life. There's no point in festering those hurts and, brandishing them on you. We can't live our lives in fear of the same old thing, because then we won't live our life. We'll be living in half truths and half measure, and just living in fear of, those mistakes or things in the past to haunt you. We don't do ghosts, but at the very least, what we've been doing is communicating throughout our life, in our adult lives. I don't even like saying adult lives, because it feels like, just, a few days ago we were 12 years old. I won't say how old I am, so don't worry about that. But I feel that we make it a very big part, and big thanks to my mom, but we make it a very big part to say how we feel as much as we can. And when you can't really handle, how you're feeling, you reserve yourself, figure out what it is, and then come back to the table with whatever the issue may be. And we don't always get it right, and we don't always like to do it. We don't really want to do it. But, I think it's the feeling of love and compassion, or the care about yourself, and then a care of the other person. But it seems like to me that, if you got bitten by a snake, that you would suck the poison out. And so the best way to get rid of the poison is to remove it. And, every time you remove poison, you always look. Well, I wouldn't say every time you look, you take out poison. Not that we get poison all the time. I would hope you don't get bitten all the time. But, you're very observant. So even if you're a person that picks your nose or your eye, you always do what? You take it out and you observe it. And I think that's kind of what we've all had to kind of allow to be done, and kind of, what would you say? I had the phrase in my head, and kind of say to the other person, look, this is what, you did to make me feel this way, and it hurt. And the other person has to be able to acknowledge that hurt and say, I didn't mean to make that happen. That wasn't my intention. I'm really sorry. I didn't know that that's what you were feeling. And even if you can explain or express why, something may have happened, it does give an understanding. And understanding is always a big key to why things happen and how to forgive those things, when you can understand where certain things are coming from. And so I think we've just been able to do those certain things, and, forgiving each other is a big part of the process, and working on those fallouts, those problems we have, those things we do wrong that aren't always right, and getting back to, damn, this is my family. I don't want to, be the person that hurts my family or hurts the people in my family. I've only ever wanted to heal those wounds and help my family. So if there's something that I've been doing or that I know I've done, let me fix the problem. And it feels like that's something that my mom, my brothers, and we continuously want. And, sometimes it's like, sometimes you're like, it's a relief. It's a release. Oh my God, thank you. That's what I needed. And instead of, why the hell do I have to deal with this? And I mean, when you're in a bad mood, of course you may feel like that, and you might be like, oh my God. But innately, the person that really cares will turn their self around and make a difference. I think I've seen a post or two, or even in my own feelings, have made the assumption or presumption that if you care about me, you stop, or if I care about you, one of us has to stop doing the thing that's hurting the other person. We both do. Or, in that regard. And it makes me think of someone that I care for a lot. And, I think we just put each other through a lot and didn't know how much we were putting each other through because we were both so used to communicating a certain type of way that we didn't realize that our communication was so different that it was the reason why we couldn't get on the same page. And so the hurt was there and the wounds were there, and never being able to be in sync was a big issue for us because we just didn't know how the other person really felt or how to deal with it if we did. And that can be a big problem. And in a village, we have to be able to, represent and change and say, hey, look, I don't know what's going on, but I know we need to fix it. And if we can't fix it, then we need to go our separate ways. But sometimes it's out of pride that we don't fix it, and we have to realize that it's pride that doesn't want us to fix it. And if we don't want to fix it, then it may be that, separating is the right thing to do. And until the time that one person can say, hey, look, I know back then I didn't want to do it, XYZ, but it's important that I fix it and we fix it because we've been XYZ for so long, whatever the case may be, that is a part of taking care of the village. But, to each their own in that regard, but it's healthier. And sometimes breaking off can be healthy as well. It's in the right way, in the right mind space, in the right spirit of things. I wouldn't always say that that's the one way to do things. It just seems to be an answer when there is no answer to some people. But, we have to remember that wounds fester, and if you don't take care of the wound, it will fester. So we'll get back to, back more into, what my family does as a people. And I think it's been a labor of love out of respect for each other and care and concern and compassion. And, growing up is really changing me and the way I look at things when it comes to expectations of others. And I've been expecting from my family, certain things as far as, just the concept of life or concept of how we deal with one another on, certain parts of our world, whether it's I need you to do this, or I need this, or you need this, or I need that, X, Y, Z, and just getting those things fulfilled. And I think that's been the biggest part, is just working on getting our lives intact with that. So if you're in that place and you've been having to work out your family values, your family, legacy going forward, and just, overall, what are you going to do? We're here. We'll answer any and all questions if we possibly can. I'll put them on here once or twice, maybe. I don't know if it helps, because I do want to do like a Q&A if you guys want to one day, maybe, and see if that's something from our hearts to your hearts will mend wounds and give you some guidance in some way. And if it does, that'd be great. But I think that this what It Takes a Village will be mostly about is how to build and take care of that village and everything, but also sometimes you need people to be a part of your world that can help. So I'm a bit scared that it'll bring me down, that I'm only able to do so much. And I just want to make sure I'm able to do the things I say I'm going to do, but also not forget that I have to, reach out as well whenever I need to. So we'll get to those parts. We'll work those things out as we keep going forward. And I think my next segment on here would be towards the process of the village in more details and things of that nature. So we'll get back to our previous topic at hand. Where we left off was the heart of the village. So we'll get back to what comes next, and I'll keep you all posted, and I hope that you all will come back for more. And as we go forward, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I hopefully will have other platforms for my podcast to be showing, and you guys can indulge and enjoy that as well. So until next time, please look out for some new episodes coming one Sunday, and I'm looking at Thursday. If I can do one Sunday and Thursday, then we'll keep making sure that you guys see me regularly on those days for the podcast. So with that being said, I will see you all on the flip side. I thank you. I love you. And I hope this is beneficial to you. And in every kind of way it takes a village will be on and popping. See ya.